Hey there YouTube, what's up? It's Matt Carl, BNWZ3. Today I'm going to be showing you how to fully disassemble and reassemble a Xbox 360 controller. Now, what you need is either a special screwdriver, which I have a link into the description, or you can just use different sizes of flathead screwdrivers. The sizes I use are 5/64 inch, 3/32 inch, and 1/8 inch screwdrivers. And you can also use a needle nose pliers for some stability when you disassemble the controller. So first, take out the battery pack. There are 7 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just a reminder that this one is the one that voids your warranty because you have to break a sticker to get to the screw. So what you're going to want to do is just take the different sizes of flathead screwdrivers and just put them in there, and you can fiddle around with the different sizes, see what one fits, and if you're having trouble turning them, you can always use the needle nose pliers to make sure that you can get it unscrewed. So basically you do that for all of the screws. Alright, so now that you have all the screws unscrewed and off to the side, you can now take this back part out and just kind of wiggle it and pull, and there you go. This is the back faceplate. You can just set that aside, and then from there you can lift the whole unit of the circuitry out. These come out, and you can just kind of here you have the little rubber. Alright, so now you can just put that aside, and I'll get to the triggers pretty soon. Now you can just take this little piece out, put that aside. This piece also pops off, and then these are just all the different buttons. It just comes right out. And then you have this one that you can just kind of pull out. There you go. Alright, so then from there you can also just pull this little stick out. There you go. Just put that aside too. To get the D-pad out, you have to use a Phillips head screwdriver because there are 2 screws inside of there. So you can just unscrew that like so. Alright, you got that one out. There's the second one. Alright, so you can put those aside, and then you have to undo the clip. So what you do is take one screwdriver and pop the clip, try to pop the clip out, and then take the other one until you get it out. And then it just should pop out, and then you can put that aside, pop this out, and then to the triggers. The triggers are a bit tricky. The triggers are a bit tricky to get out. As you can see, they're pretty solid in there. So what you do is you take it and you push this little white stick out while you push it the other way with the trigger, and you try to forcefully but gently pop that out like so, and then you can pop one trigger out, and then there you go. It just comes right out. You might have to use a bit of force for this. Don't worry, you're not going to break. And then you do it with the other side as well. Push this stick in, and then just kind of wiggle it out. Try not to break anything. And there you go. Just comes right out. Alright, so now that you have everything disassembled, you basically can do whatever you want to the controller. You can paint it like this, or you can mod it so it has an LED light. I've done that. Alright, so now to put it back together, I'm going to start with the triggers, which is basically the hardest part. So basically you take one and put the spring into the little peg, and then you try to put one through the hole, and then you try to put the second one through, and then it should pop right in there. And then you have to make it aligned so that when you push this down, it also comes in line with the white peg. So I have to use a little bit of force and a screwdriver, and there it just pops back into place, and fully functional trigger. Now to do it with the other side. Just put the spring in the peg, and then kind of have to play around with it and get it so that the two pegs are in. Can be a bit frustrating because you don't want to break your controller, but you do want it to get into place. Just kind of wiggle it around, and there we go. Popped into place. Then what I like to do is take the screwdriver and pop that in the hole, bring it up, so it's like so. And then you have to use a bit of force, and it should pop into the little peg of the trigger. And there you go, you have two functioning triggers. Now the rest is pretty simple, just work back the way we started. Next is to put the D-pad back into place. All you do, what I like to do is put this rubber thing on first to keep all the buttons in place, and then to put the D-pad back into place, you put this gray thing in there, and there you go, should pop into place. And then from under, you just slide it in, and the clips should click back into place. There you go. And then take the two screws and just screw those back into place. Alright, so now once you have screwed the screws back into place on the D-pad, you just put that little rubbery pad on there so that it can register with the circuitry. Alright, so next you want to just put the two different parts back into place. The bottom should just, if you line up the pegs correctly, it just pops back in there. And then the top bumpers just pop back into the pegs like so. And then all you need to do is just put the circuitry back into the back of the faceplate. So what you do is just pop it back in there like so, put the triggers in, and then with the rumble packs, what I like to do is put one in so that you know that they're in the right place, put the second one in so that they're in the right place, and then all you have to do is just close it back up. So now you have all the screws back into place. Just pop the battery pack back in, and you have a fully functioning controller. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe up there, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching. See you.